Okay, so let's try our next problem here. Turn the machine on. Hit the reset. All right, let's have a look here. Okay, so we're on player one, ball one. I'm gonna put 100 points in the machine. I'm just gonna hit the B rollover. I'm gonna drain the ball. It's still on ball one, player one, even though I get some points here. Try something different. I'm gonna hit a couple of. I'm gonna just hit one drop target and then I'm gonna drain it. Now it's at player two. So to recap, as long as I'm only scoring 100 points, it stays on ball one. But as soon as I score 1,000 points, it increments the ball. What's our problem here? All right, so we're in the back box here. There's the M relay, which is the 100-point relay. And you can see right there, slip of paper holding open one pair of contacts, which are red, white, and silver, white. And you'll see in the schematic that this is specifically to show another piece, another relay in the machine. So here's the solution for the problem where the ball would not advance past ball one if 100 points was scored, but it would if 1,000 points were scored. And one thing, at least on my schematic and my machine, there are two mistakes. The schematic is supposed to show what the machine looks like when it's fully reset and the ball's in the runway. However, on my machine, there are a couple relay contacts, which we'll get into, that show closed here and they're not. They're open. And I can explain that this is the first ball relay. It's a U on the schematic. And if you looked at this as it's drawn, U is going to be on. It's going to be energized because this switch right here is closed and there is a circuit to U. And U is not enabled, is not energized when the machine is powered up and the ball is in the runway. The other mistake is here, it shows a switch closed. So if H is open, there's no path there. There is still a path if you come here and come down. And this is open here. So one of these three switches has to close in order for you to energize. If this is closed as it's shown in the schematic, you will energize. Again, U is not energized when the ball is in the runway. So this is an error in the schematic. Both of these are open on a normal machine when it's running. So picture in your head, I should redraw this schematic, but I'm not going to, that these are shown as open. So what you can see is to enable U, kind of work backwards, one of these four switches has to close. So the ball launches, all four of these are open. If M is giving 100 points, but there's a contact on the M relay, the 100-point relay, if that's one that we had blocked open, it would never energize the U. So what would happen normally is if this M switch contact closed, we would see electricity come in here, down here, across, up to the U relay. That could not happen because we had this switch blocked open. It'd still give 100 points, but it would not enable the U relay. But 1,000 points we did not have blocked open, so the N relay worked fine, and that contact closed, and then we would get a circuit. So what exactly is that first ball relay? Let's look at it next. So the first ball relay has 6 sets of contacts on it. It's got a hold-on contact, which we saw in the schematic right here. That's going to close when the U relay energizes, which then shows we have a circuit all the way across, regardless of what happens here. There is a contact on the add player unit. We're going to look at that next. And then you can see we're starting to get into the AX circuitry, which is into that spider web of the startup. So I don't think we're going to get too much into that in this case. There's a replay button relay, which we'll look at some other time. And then also the target bank and sequence bank resets occur. So if I had to left that piece of paper in there and started the machine and reset it, I don't think the target banks would have reset. I think they would have stayed on. I didn't try that as part of the test. So now let's look at what was causing this problem. If we look at the add player unit, which is a schematic around D13, we've covered, I think, this before in a previous episode, but the add player unit either has to go through the Z1 contact and Z2 contact, or all the machine score reels have to be reset, depending on where you are in a machine. Remember, the schematic is supposed to be drawn as it is fully reset with a ball in the runway. Well, all the score reels would continue to be at 0, but Z1 and Z2 stay closed. So no matter how these change, as the game's being played, we have connectivity through Z1 and Z2 to the player unit. So our problem is down below. And you can see right here a U contact that's normally open. Since we had the U blocked open, since M was blocked open and it couldn't energize U could not energize, which means we couldn't close this switch right here, and all the circuitry is to move that player unit onto the next ball or the next player if it's a multiplayer game. So our problem was, because we had U blocked open, in summary, we had M blocked open, so it could not close U, and then since U could not energize, this switch could not close, which meant the add player unit could not advance. We'll get perhaps into some of the other switch contact, relay contacts for that first ball relay another time.